Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about this. Folks, we need to talk about pure evil. Let me adjust myself here. This is an important subject. We need to talk about pure evil. And thankfully Fox News is here to help us. AOC squad under fire as Dems reject their deeply problematic agenda. And then we see the thumbnail is a bunch of non-white women. So they're women, evil, and they're not white. Even, well, actually AOC is white, according to Tucker Carlson. And is Tucker Carlson going to tell us how Ayanna Pressley and Ilhan Omar are also white? That would be great. But so we got one white woman and two non-white women. Pure evil, folks. Deeply problematic. Folks, what does this mean? Okay, so I need to tell y'all. All right, so this is, how there's always the media boogeyman stories? This is one that is baffling to me. This is baffling to me, right? So, okay. I don't even know where to start. Okay, so in no area whatsoever has the left-wing position during the Biden administration so far, during the session of Congress, there have been approximately 0% of any day throughout any amount of this term, since January 3rd or 4th, whatever it was, the first day of this Congress, 0% of every single one of these days, there's been none of them where a left-wing agenda has ever even remotely been taken seriously. The squad, now, okay, so then let's say the squad's agenda, which you could say maybe isn't necessarily left-wing. Also, again, 0% has their, quote, deeply problematic agenda been taken seriously by Pelosi, Schumer, or Biden at all. Again, we look at the Build Back Better negotiations. It started out, Joe Manchin said $4 trillion. Joe Manchin said $4 trillion on Build Back Better. Bernie Sanders said 10. That was negotiated all the way down to 1.25 trillion and still didn't get passed, right? So I need you to understand, the Build Back Better agenda, as the squad would want it, has literally never, ever, ever had a chance of even potentially getting anywhere near maybe getting through a committee to have a vote on anything at all. So again, this is purely made up. This is entirely made up, okay? Just this is 100% fantasy land. So I want to read this. Now, again, deeply problematic agenda. Notice the language here. This is like, like millennials and Generation Z love to use the term problematic. I do too. We all love talking about how problematic certain things are. I'm down. It's a good word, okay? But note how, so this is a far-right fascist website. Fox News is a neo-Nazi organization, right? So a neo-Nazi is using, quote, woke, unquote, language against, the left wing of the Democratic Party. I just want to note that here. So the neo-Nazis are quoting the Democrats that are working with the neo-Nazis against the left agenda. And the left agenda in this case is just I don't know, maybe we don't get rid of the child tax credit. The left agenda was do nothing, right? That's the left agenda. Keep everything how it is, right? Let's just maintain the child tax credit. All right, but anyway, let's keep going. The far left policies of the squad are making the midterm election season even tougher for Democrats and putting swing state moderates in peril, according to some Democrats. So already, the far left policies of the squad. I just want to be very clear. I am a far leftist. I'm a hard leftist. Emphasis on hard. I'm a leftist and I'm hard. And I'm a hard leftist, okay? I'm going to be honest here. None of the members of the squad have my politics. I'm going to be even closer and say they're not even that close to my politics. I want to abolish the U.S. government. I want to put every U.S. president, every, Republican, honestly, most Democrat, I want to put almost every politician in this country on trial. And honestly, I'm going to be 100% real with y'all. I agree with abolishing the death penalty, but let's wait until after we're done with the U.S. politicians. In my opinion, the governmental apparatus of the United States needs to be destroyed. That's my opinion. Now, I'm going to be very clear. No one in the squad has that opinion. They do not agree with me. They are not far left, right? They are, right, like, literally, like, they are international centrists. Like, I know, but, like, so there's, like, they want to give poor people some money so that they don't sleep on the street. They want to give sick people medicine so that they don't die at the workplace, right? Like, this is very simple stuff, right? So, again, I need you to understand all of this hit piece, right, it's neo-Nazis working with Democrats. I wonder why Democrats are working with neo-Nazis, right? That's very strange. To attack those that have no power. The squad has no power. They have no power. They have none. They have no power. They can't get anything passed. They have no power. And yet they're still under attack. Why is that? It's very interesting. A leader of a PAC designed to help moderates told Fox News Digital, again, Democrats working with neo-Nazis. That's weird. That the policies trumpeted by Rep. AOC and her progressive squad are too toxic for Democrats running in competitive seats that will determine whether Democrats hold on to the majority. Again, there's so much vague Fantasyland stuff here. It's impressive. We've been kind of shouting this from the rooftops since the 2020 election, said Matt Bennett. Again, Matt Bennett, I don't know who this person is. This person, essentially, what is the difference between a neo-Nazi and someone who gives neo-Nazis information that they can use to, embolden their agenda? Again, it's very similar. You got 1,300 bad cops and 12 good cops in the room. How many bad cops are there in that room? He said the 2020 election was a wake-up call when Democrats lost 14 House seats and issues like defund the police were center of GOP attacks. Again, I'm going to be very clear. There is one member of Congress that ever supported defund the police. That's Cori Bush. And guess what? She won her seat. So, And the 2021 Virginia governor's race was another example of far-left policies backfiring when Republicans put critical race theory and school COVID policies center stage. Again, what? So moderate Democrats are embracing the critical race theory conspiracy? Okay, so in this world that neo-Nazis and Democrats that, for whatever reason, are working with neo-Nazis want you to believe is that AOC supports critical race theory in kindergarten, and that's why Glenn Youngkin campaigned against critical race theory, and that's why he won, because AOC wants critical race theory in kindergarten? Can you find any evidence of that? Any evidence at all? No, there is none, but they're just saying it. Right? They're just saying it. They're just saying, and guess what? They have billions of dollars so they can do this. Again, if I just say stupid shit, no one listens to me. But if I have billions of dollars and I buy something like Fox News, I can just say whatever I want, and people will just read it. I'm reading it right now. They're just making shit up, folks. Like, they're just making it up. The squad policies do fine in Brooklyn, Bennett told Fox News Digital, but I would say that they are deeply problematic. Again, this language, deeply problematic. Have you heard anyone over the age of, 35 ever say the word problematic? Let's be honest. Deeply. Oh, the squad is deeply problematic. They arm Republicans with very potent attacks, albeit very misleading ones, but very politically impactful attacks. How? When has AOC in the last 2 years brought forth any attempt to defund the police anywhere at all? I'm waiting. Where has Ayanna Pressley put forth legislation to defund the police? I'm waiting. He urges the squad to realize that their radical policies. Again, what are the radical policies? I'm just curious. Like, is the whole thing still about defund the police? Really? Really? Police, over the course of 2021, police killed over 3 people each day. There were over 1,100 police murders in the year of 2021. Okay? And yet, defund the police is, quote, deeply problematic. But again, they're not advocating for that. None of them are advocating to defund the police. And also, like, what does defund the police even mean? Because Republicans have advocated more to reduce police funding. And they've actually brought legislation to the floor to reduce police funding. What police force am I talking about? The Capitol Police. They hate those motherfuckers for some reason. So, let me get this straight. The Republicans can bring forth legislation to defund the police, but that's okay because it goes with their conspiracy theories. The, quote, radical left can put forth no legislation, but sometimes say, yeah, we need to reform police a little bit somewhat. And that's deeply problematic? What? And also, why is AOC, why is it incumbent upon AOC and Cori Bush to worry about what goes on in Western Iowa? What? Do they not understand how our system of government works? AOC does not represent Western Iowa. She is not running for president. She is running to represent the people of New York's 14th congressional district. Why the fuck would she give a fuck about Western Iowa? Does that make any sense? Does anyone ever flip this shoe on the other foot? Oh, whoever dumb fuck motherfucker is running in Western Iowa, don't you care about what people in New York's 14th congressional district are thinking? They would probably respond with, huh? You want to know why they would respond with, huh? Because that's the only proper response. Imagine you're going up to like Abigail Spanberger or whatever that stupid bitch's name is in Virginia, and you say, how do you feel about what this random person in New York City says? You know what she would say? She would say, huh? Because that's how our system of fucking government works. You have constituents in your district, and you do what they want. That's how it should work anyway. Now we know that that's not how it works. But we see a situation where the squad, there's like 6 or 7 members of Congress that actually do what their district wants. Okay? And then you have these weirdos from Western Iowa. These weirdos, they're like, well, why don't you do what we want? If you want AOC to do what you want, move to her fucking congressional district. I don't know what to tell you. And also, look at this, by the way. Look at this screenshot. I guess I have the photograph. Demonstrators hold a sign reading, defund the police, during a protest over the death of a black man, Daniel Prude, after police put a spit hood over his head during an arrest on March 23rd in Rochester, New York on September 6, 2020. Why would they, like, think about this. From the neo-Nazi perspective, why would you post that caption there? Police put a spit hood over someone's head and they fucking died from asphyxiation? And that's your example of why we shouldn't defund the police? You know what? Like, why wouldn't you use an example of like a protest where it's like they have like these weirdo pseudo justified shootings or something? Why would they use an example where like the police have like 0% justified? You put a fucking hood over someone's head and you fucking like, you know, you basically choked the air out of them? That's like a really bad example. If your goal is to like fund the police, I'm just saying that's a really bad example that, but deeply problematic to want to defund the police after that. I don't even know, the radical views of the squad are mainstream in today's Democratic Party. That's just not true. Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi, again, Bernie Sanders and the squad wanted $10 trillion. Joe Manchin wanted $4 trillion. Joe Biden's compromise initially was 3.5, less than Joe Manchin's, right? Then they compromised again, 1.75. Then they compromised to around just $1 trillion, and Joe Manchin still said no. So in what world, like again, let's assume, all right, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are outliers. So, okay, Joe Biden is the bear-weather here. He still wanted less than Joe Manchin wanted initially. If Joe Biden or Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer supported a $10 trillion BBB bill, right, that would be news to me. That hasn't happened. They are lying to you. But again, not only is Fox News lying to you, again, Fox News, a terrorist organization run and operated by neo-Nazis, but they are working with members of the Democratic Party. That's what and again, this is like day 5 of like this giant anti-squad media campaign when the squad didn't do anything. That's the thing that's bizarre about this. It's not like AOC made a statement that got like a lot of like press or something. They literally didn't do anything. In fact, there's a lot of people on the left that are upset with the squad for not doing enough. The squad literally did nothing. They're just walking around like eating fucking pizza and like fucking like, like breathing and drinking some water. And now this is big media frenzy. There's nothing. It's not like they introduced any legislation that's like, oh, we're going to defund the police, and now we're just introducing that now. They literally didn't do anything. There was no impetus for any of this media criticism against the squad. There's none of it, right? Democrats attacking them for no reason. They didn't do anything. There's no, it's not like a week ago Cory Bush said that we need to destroy the U.S. government or something. We need to, it's not like, fucking Ilhan Omar, went to the floor of Congress and said that, we need to, ban everyone who's they literally didn't do anything. It's it's crazy to me. It's crazy. It's just I really can't with this shit. The squad is blaming moderates, especially Joe Manchin, for failing to pass Biden's massive Build Back Better platform. The word massive here is strange. The dissatisfaction among voters is because Democrats haven't been able to fully deliver on their campaign promises. Now again, fully delivering on the campaign promises would be a lot more than $10 trillion. Let's be honest. Joe Biden and the Democratic Party platform of 2020 promised a lot more than $10 trillion in the Build Back Better Act. Let's just be honest. Also, what about legalizing marijuana? Throwing that out there. What the fuck? What the fuck? By the way, marijuana is still federally fucking illegal? Is this a joke? Is this a fucking joke? But whatever, okay. And that's the squad's fault? What? The ones who have the least amount of power are the most to blame. What? Rep. Cory Bush responded to an Axios report about moderates criticizing squad politics and pointed out that moderates killed a permanent extension of the child tax credit. In case you hadn't caught on by now, every time there's a media push blaming progressives, there's something conservative Democrats are trying to cover up, Bush tweeted. This time, it's that they sent 4 million kids into poverty because they killed the child tax credit. Don't get distracted. Ocasio-Cortez retweeted her fellow squad member, responding 100%. That's true. Again, I need you all to understand, right? These motherfuckers are crazy. These are the motherfuckers that are like, let me cozy up to Hitler, and then at the last minute, I'll beat him in an election. What? They literally did nothing. Like, it's incredible. It's incredible. So I need to dispel this bullshit here. Lots of bullshit, folks. Lots of bullshit.